sitting down with me today. One of the main features of that War Hill 2023 team that won the first and only Bay Rivers District Championship in their school's history. Now, a defensive back at a very well-known program in the FCS and really college football picture at North Dakota State. Just fresh off of clinching his second straight Missouri Valley Conference Championship. Taylen Eady, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm good, man. I can't complain. So we talked about it a little bit off camera. Second year with the team at the school at North Dakota State University. Different because you're acclimated to it now, right?
Mhm.
But I think the first question that I want to get out the way is what does a kid who grew up in Hampton Roads, Virginia, Williamsburg, moving to Fargo, North Dakota, like could you even wrap your head around that when you first moved out there?
Definitely not. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's so far. You don't really realize how far it is until, the time zone changes because I'm an hour behind and your friends are out there having fun and I'm waking up for morning workouts like that. But I mean, it's been a great experience and everything like that. Like I was telling you off camera, the winters are very cold. It got better when they gave us our coats and everything like that. So, but I mean, it is very far, but I definitely say it's worth it.
So when it comes to North Dakota State in general, the brand, because we haven't talked to you, it's you had offers from East Coast FCS programs, you had offers from, I believe you had an offer from FBS program as well on the East Coast.
Mhm.
Why move out to Fargo? Why move out to North Dakota State when you have options closer to home?
One is my brother played here, so I was kind of familiar with the area. He played basketball over here, so I was definitely familiar. And then, like you said, it's a very winning program. In high school, we won a lot, and I want to keep that going. And why not push yourself in anything like that? So I took the risk, and after the first year, it's paid off, and it's paying off so far this year. So
What was the atmosphere like, between when you go in and play against like UND or like South Dakota State,
yeah.
right? The Dakota Bowl games, like how could you describe the atmosphere? And the other thing too is like North Dakota State going up to Boulder, right, and almost knocking off Colorado, and how great of a game that was. So what was that year like for you before the national championship of just not just the experience of college football, but also the experience of a real brand of college football?
Definitely. There's a lot of work behind the scenes that you really don't see when you're watching college football, like the film, the workouts, the meeting, practices, stuff like that. But like my first game was that Colorado game, and I I was young. I thought I was gonna get in, but I obviously didn't. But I got to travel. It was like five of us freshmen traveling, but it was a crazy experience. Like I really knew I like really enjoyed like this level of football, this brand of football, and the way we competed against Colorado and everything like that. It was good to see. Like it was a very close game, and I feel like we could have came out with that one. But this year, like with the environments of UND and SDSU, we played away both those games, and those are very hostile environments. Like sold out both of those arenas and everything like that. It's a lot of trash talk before the game, during the game, maybe even after the game. But the fans are always loud. It's very loud, and it's a very physical game. Like you got to put your body on the line. You got to do anything you can to help your team win. So it's a very great game.
I've seen some of the highlights that you've had, especially like in the freshman season when you got in, you had that interception right on the sideline where you toe tapped it, and it's when you have the first play that you make on the college team, like you said, you come from basically playing every snap where you played both sides of the ball at War Hill to then you go to Colorado and you're like, I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna get in. I was one of five freshmen traveling with a team, and then you didn't, right?
Yeah.
But then when you go and you eventually start making plays,
hmm
right? First of all, like what was that first playmaking moment like for you? And how good did it feel to finally be able to start making plays for NDSU once you got into the games?
It was really good. Like I was really nervous. We were playing Tennessee State, started had a very good lead and everyone on my all the older guys were like, you about to get in, you about to get in. I was over here nervous. Like I'm just playing football. Why am I nervous? They're like, just think about it like it's like practice. Like you've seen all these plays, you've done this, you rep this all the time. And I think it was like my second play that where he threw it my way and it was just kind of natural instincts that kicked in and just go attack the ball. It's nothing new. So I mean, it was amazing. I was jumping around. I was hype. All my teams was hyping me up. It was probably like that's up there for like the best football experience I had.
Outside of probably winning the national championship, I would
Oh,
imagine.
yeah, that's definitely up there. That's definitely up there.
So okay, let's walk through that a little bit. So, I seen the pictures, you the trophy, you with the cigar in your mouth, kind of like the Joe Burrow type thing, right? So I remember last year's because I don't believe North Dakota State was the favorite that
Mm-mm.
last year. Like South Dakota State was rolling people, if I remember correctly. And so walk me through just like the final seconds. You got in that game for a brief second, right?
Yeah, I had a special team snap in there.
Yeah. So first of all, national championship game, Frisco, Texas, like that atmosphere of being on the field in that moment versus any other moment. What was that?
The guy would be number one. The guy would be. It was a night game. They had fireworks and everything like that, and you know what's on the line. It's the same thing as the Dakota games. It's physical, and North Dakota State and Montana State kind of have a history in the playoffs and stuff like that. So there's a little something on the line with that as well. So it was a great atmosphere.
Final whistle goes. You're a
I
national champion.
I think I was the first one to run to the podium. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I started cheating over there because we punted the ball and the time ran out, and I just sprinted over there. They gave us hats, everything, the confetti, everything came down, and it was just kind of a surreal feeling because the fans get on the field and they all under us, and we were waving the flag. They let me wave the flag and everything like that. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But yeah, I mean, I got the replica trophy right here. They gave us stuff like
Nice.
that, so it's something that I'm not going to forget, but you want to do it again and again. So we're working for that this year.
So you come home after, obviously I know you have to finish out classes for the year and everything like that, but I mean you come back home. I saw you were training on your Instagram back home in Williamsburg over at at the complex, at the War Hill Sports Complex over the summer. So when you come back home and you link up with your guys, right?
Mm.
Like I'm sure you're working out with Liam, right? I'm sure because Liam's at Norfolk State. He's playing safety, I think, right?
Mm.
So Liam's at Norfolk State. You got other guys that you played with that I'm sure are either on the next level or guys that, were probably sophomores when you were a senior. Um, what were those conversations like? Like, how weird was it to almost have like a high school reunion of sorts of coming back home and kind of updating everybody on how life has been for you and hearing their updates? And it's like, yeah, we're not in high school anymore.
Yeah. With the older guys, kind of like compare how our program does and their program does it. And whenever we work out and stuff like that, I'll give him some of our drills that we do. He gives me some of his drills that we do. And then Coach Jackson, he's been with me since I was like a freshman. So it's always good going back home and linking with him and doing workout stuff like that. And then as for the high school guys, I mean, I hear that they look up to me. I mean, I continue to watch War Hill like to this day, text Coach Rhodes and stuff like that. But I always try to get the young guys some knowledge that can help them get to the next level or change their mindset of what college football is like. Because I know when I was in high school, I didn't really have that many people tell me what it was like. And when I came in, it was just like a shocker to me. So trying to make it not a shocker to them and what to expect and what they have to do to make it to this level.
Yeah, you talk about War Hill today. There's a kid on War Hill today. His name is Micah Mason.
Yeah.
And he's had a fun season. His first year at War Hill, but I was talking to Coach Rhodes about him because I went up there to talk to him,
Mhm.
and I asked him about if there was any sort of comparison to you, and he was like, "Well, Taylen's a 101." He's like, "Taylen's a different type of guy." So Coach Rhodes and I were talking about you last week when I went up there. So this season, you finish off-season workouts, you
Mhm.
go back to North Dakota. And what were the conversations like in terms of, acclimating yourself into the system for year two, playing time, everything like that?
Um, a lot of it was watching film with the coaches, showing my face in the offices, showing that I care and that I really want to have a bigger role this year, and then attacking spring ball. And it's early morning practices and meetings and some pretty hard lifts, but just attacking it with a mindset of I want to play this year. I want to make big plays. It's starting to be my time. I'm getting old, so just kind of doing that every day and showing the coaches and our coaches always show make us not play you. So it's like if you keep making plays and stuff like that, they have no choice but to play. So I continue to do that, and it's been working out so far.
I always wanted a high paying career, but I didn't want to be stuck at a desk. In just 4 months, Tidewater Community College taught me how to drive a truck. The pay is great, and I have the independence I've always wanted. They helped me with financial aid and showed me how to enroll. TCC even helped me find a job. Now I'm on my way. Tidewater Community College. From here, go anywhere.
How beneficial is it for you? Because it's almost like it feels like traditional college football to an extent, right? Where you have guys nowadays who will go, you know, if they can't play immediately,
Hmm.
they're gone.
Yeah.
They're transferring and they're going somewhere else. Whereas an established, long-standing program like North Dakota State, I mean, like, and you could really put North Dakota State in those pools of like those Alabamas, those LSUs, where I know that they're not on the same level in terms of competition that they play on a day-to-day basis, but the
Hmm.
tradition isn't of the new age of college football, where
Yeah.
you have guys who get drafted ahead of
Yeah.
you that will go and play at the next level. So do you almost are you almost happy that it's like that to where you're really working for your turn, whereas
Yeah.
you could have left and transferred somewhere else?
I definitely like it. I mean, we have a lot of former players come back and talk about their experiences, and it's kind of like you're not playing for just the team right now. You're playing for everyone who played before you and set the foundation of the program like that. Like from moving to D2 to D1 FCS, like that period, they talk about how they just wanted to set it up for us and stuff like that. So it means a lot. And then, I mean, I played with Gray Zabel last year, Cam Miller. I got Bryce on the team this year. I had Marty Brown, who won the Walter Payton last year. Like, there's a lot of talent here. There's a lot of talent here, and I mean, some people might not see that, but like I see it every day, and it makes me better. It only makes me better. So I really like the competition and the coaching staff and everything like that.
So you last week that game was crazy.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean that was an absurd game that came right down to the wire.
Mhm.
Um, but ultimately clinches you your, like you said, your individually second straight Missouri Valley Conference championship. So now that the season is coming to a close, what's the outlook on this year's roster? How would you compare it to last year's team that won the national championship, and just rolling into the postseason? Kind of how does everybody feel?
hmm well, first off, we got these two regular season games, and um, we always talk about just continue to improve everything like that. Like, don't stalemate. Don't think that we already made it. Like, our team hasn't done nothing. Our coach always says that 2025 has not done nothing yet. How do we want to write our story? So, coming in, we still practice hard. We still hitting. We still doing everything that we would have done in the beginning of the year when we were 0-0 and stuff like that. As for last year's team, um, kind of like what I was saying, like it's the same goals for each team each year. We both worked like both the teams worked hard and everything like that. We definitely had more seniors last year. So spring ball and fall camp this year, we kind of had some guys that had to step up and uh earn their roles and get ready to play. But our program does a good job with developing guys. Like we have two fields during fall camp and spring ball where it's the twos field and the ones field. So everyone's learning the plays, everyone's going against each other, competing. So when you do get called up, it's not like you're learning a whole new playbook and stuff like that. Like you already know and rep the stuff. So they do a good job.
Nice. What's been the biggest thing about Fargo that surprised you?
Mm. Um, that's a pot. They're really nice out here. They're really, really nice.
Okay.
And then they love Bison football. Like, you know, you they say they do. A lot of programs say like the fans really truly love the program, but like they really do here. Like if you're out and you're wearing a Bison shirt, people talk to you, the kids will take pictures with you and stuff like that. And then our program does a great job with community service and stuff. So we're out in the program helping people out or going to elementary schools and reading and stuff like that. So I just think it's been a great experience just kind of helping out the community and stuff like that.
Were you out here out to Fargo prior to watch your brother play hoops at all?
I went a couple times, and like I said, I mean, at that time, I probably didn't see myself out here, but I mean, it's just crazy how life works, and I'm following up his footsteps.
What was his reaction when you told him you were coming here 2 years ago?
He was just like, "Hey, man, go have fun, go do what you got to do." Um, It wasn't an easy decision. I had a couple schools I was thinking of, but he kind of told me what it was like and everything like that, and I kind of just enjoyed the way it was. And I mean, I met the coaching staff plenty of times, came up to a lot of camps, and it was just a great experience.
Uh, Shifting gears kind of back to your high school roots a little bit, I think it's really impressive. You talked about how your finger's still kind of on the pulse of War Hill. And I
Mhm.
think it's really impressive what Coach Rose has been able to do in a very short period of time. It's like you guys were the most successful War Hill football team that the program has seen, right? In
Mhm.
that 2023 season where you guys ran into Phoebus in the playoffs. And then down year, total down year,
Yeah.
which is still 5 wins for a lot of teams, is a successful year, 5-6. You make the
Mhm.
playoffs, you play in a game, everything like that. But to go into the Bay Rivers playoffs, 8-2, in a region, or sorry, going to the Class 4 playoffs, 8-2. You're third place in the Bay Rivers, and your only two losses were to the two best teams in the district, and not by much. You didn't get blown out.
Yeah.
What does that say? You've interacted with Coach Rhodes. You know him
Mhm.
very well. What does that say about his ability to very quickly turn the program around? And he only has one starting senior on this year's roster.
Yeah. He does a great job. Like I would say he makes it as close to college football as it can get, and like along the rules of what you have to do in high school and stuff like that. He's very detail oriented. He makes the guys lift hard. I mean, I remember those lifts. I was lifting in school, after school, before practice. I'm like, man, this dude's crazy, but like it worked out as you can see. But he just does a great job all the time. He really cares about the kids. He really does. He just wants to see everyone develop and everything like that. And he has a great football mind. Everything like he still texts me like, how how does y'all locker room look before the game and stuff like that. Like he always is looking to make the team better. So I just think like I thank him every day.
Were was your group his first really like big group of college turnout kids?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I think so.
So you're saying he's basically texting you to get a feel for like what basically he's going to try to mirror his operation after what you guys tell him.
I I feel like he tries to add a little stuff into it. Like he's obviously gonna have his little system and stuff like that because it's been working. But as like I said, like as long as I can help, I'll tell him what he needs, and hopefully he's using it and it's been working.
We'll get you out here in a couple of last ones. Um, when you get out to the field,
Mhm.
do you have a ritual? Do you have superstitions? Do you have anything like that where if you don't do them, if you don't do these three or four things, we're not playing well?
Um, I'd say the day of the game, I make two sandwiches, the same exact sandwich, turkey, cheese, and Cajun ranch. And then I have a handshake with all the safeties and stuff like that. So when we get out there, we're all warming up. I do that every single time. And I usually try to stretch around the 50-yard line, somewhere along there.
Okay. Song of choice, playlist of choice, artist of choice. What are you listening to?
Honestly, I really like calm music before a game. I feel like if I work myself too much, I make it a bigger deal than it really is. Like it's obviously a big deal, but like I like to be calm going into games. I'm not like a big yeller, screamer, stuff like that. Like a level head, think about my job and stuff like that. So probably I don't even know anything because me and my friends have a shared playlist. So I'll just shuffle it and whatever comes on, I'm gonna just listen to it. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Whose idea was that? Was that within the safety room?
Yeah.
Okay, but and then last one. What would it mean to you? Are we whipping out another cigar if we get another national
Oh
championship?
yeah, I might have two. I don't know.
Two freeze trophies.
Yeah, I can't wait.
What would that mean to be able to get another one?
Another one. It'd be nice. It would be really nice. It would be better this year because I feel like I actually contributed and played. Like last year was nice, but you only did so much. I got one snap playing special team stuff. Actually going out there making tackles and stuff like that, I'll definitely feel better. And then after that 1 week of free time's done, you have that team meeting. It's what did this 2026 team do? Nothing yet. So back to work.
So, quick one. This
Mm.
time next year, what's the dialogue around Taylen Eady?
Balling, balling. Know what I'm saying? Like just making plays. throwing his body around, catching picks, PBUs. I just want to be a dominant player, unstoppable, and just have a great, great year.
Word. Taylen, appreciate you, brother.
Of
Thank you
course,
so much for
appreciate
hopping
you.
on.
Of course.
War Hill Lion, North Dakota State Bison. We appreciate you. Good luck in the rest of the way through.
Mhm.
We'll track the playoff push. But for now, for another episode of Sports Wrap Sit Downs, catch you on the next one.
Yes, sir.